buddy.
Agree with you.
All right, so it's something that you have to do that you haven't done this season is to go up and at least get one in Boston. What was the approach in practice that you guys did?
Just focus on defense. Come out with the same intensity. We have to bring that defensive focus and intensity on the road, and we feel like we have a chance to win. The first 2 games there, we didn't play great defense, but still, it was in the way of trying to win the game. So we play with that same defense. We like our chances.
These 4 games, you guys have at least dominated them throughout the course, or you have had stretches where you have dominated them. Have you noticed, maybe after Game 4, that these guys are starting to feel like, man, this team might be better than us?
I think so a little bit, but we have a lot of confidence, understanding that we had a chance to win all 4 games. Even though we only won 2 and they won 2 at their place, we had opportunities to win those games, even though we didn't shoot the ball well or we didn't play great defense. So that gave us a lot of confidence of understanding what we can do and how we match up against those guys.
John, you guys kept IT off the free throw line completely last game. How important is that aspect of defending him?
The same way they try to keep me off the free throw line. It's just try not to get caught. He does a great job of getting into each guy's body and getting contact. Give our bigs and guards a lot of credit. They did a great job of just keeping their hands up and just trying to contest and make things tough for him. I think we did a great job of it.
For guys like you and him who kind of go off that speed and penetration, is it almost disruptive when you're not getting those calls? Like, does it affect the flow of your game?
It gets frustrating, but at the same time, you have to also play through that. He still made shots. He made 50% of his shots. He just didn't get a lot more opportunity to play because we had a bigger lead in the fourth quarter. But he still had his opportunity to get shots, and he was being aggressive. He started off hot. I think we just did a great job of trying not to let him have a big game at the end, 17 in the first half.
John, the last time you played Horford in Game 5, he had a massive play. What do you remember about that play, and what do you remember about how that influenced the series?
I had a great block, and then there was a loose ball, and they ended up just grabbing it and shooting a quick layup. That's all I remember. I remember we had an opportunity to win the Game 5 and then come back home and have an opportunity to close it out. And then went vice versa against us. So, you have those in your picture, but this is a different series, a different team.
What do you tell Kelly Oubre going into this game? Is there any advice, John, at this point?
Just keep your composure. They're going to probably try to foul him hard, because of what he did. But just come out there and play the same way you played before you got suspended the game. Bringing a lot of energy, making spot-up threes for us, and just being the great defender that we need.
John, obviously this has been a pretty eventful series. What do you expect in terms of the atmosphere?
It's going to be real loud. It's going to be better than the first 2 games. So it's an important game for those guys, important game for both of us, but more important for those guys going back home. So they understand that we get an opportunity to win there, we get a chance to close it out here. So they're going to come out and be aggressive. They're going to come out and play better than what they play here, and their fans are going to be amazing.
When you guys jumped out, I think it was 16-0 on them in Game 1, the crowd was totally out of it. There was booing. What is it like for the road team to go in to a place like that and really take the crowd out of what they're trying to do?
Well, in the playoffs, that's key. And we understand that we have to try to keep the crowd out of it. Because when the crowd get into it, certain guys start making plays they're not used to making, and guys making shots that they're not used to making. And the team play better. It's frustrating to you because you get frustrated if you're not making shots as the opposing team. So we got to do a better job of closing out quarters and just trying to keep those guys from getting those wide open threes and offensive rebounds.
John, Kelly Olynyk, obviously heard it from the crowd here. But what would you kind of advise Oubre about dealing with that in Boston? He may, of course, hear it from those fans.
You're going to get the same amount of boos as me, but probably a little louder.
Is it more than booze, though, in Boston? Have you ever heard anything outside of just your random?
Well, not me. I have a lot of those fans appreciate my game or are fans of it, but at the same time, they got to cheer for their home team, so I never heard anything disrespectful from one of those guys before.
After Game 4, Isaiah called out, said the officials, he was being grabbed and held, and he was not getting the calls and the way that he did in Boston. Is that how you saw it out there? And then how do you expect this next game to be refereed?
I haven't calls neither. This was the first game I got called. Last game was not free throw, so I've been getting grabbed and beat up the whole series too. So it's a part of the game. The playoffs are a lot more physical. Teams are going to be tougher. And it's 2 teams competing. It's trying to win the series, and we know it's at stake. So we're not just going to let those. In the first 2 games, they got the moving the ball however they wanted to and run around freely. In Game 3 and 4, we was the opposing team that wasn't allowing those guys to do that. And if we bring that physical approach to the game, I think we like our chances of playing because we can't just let those guys move wherever they want and let him get wherever he wants. So we have to play through.
This is Markieff's first playoff appearance. How would you say he's handled it? It seems like he's embracing both the on-court action as well as the post-game conversation.
He's great. That's what he is. That's what he is. He's the enforcer of our team. So nothing's gonna phase him. Whatever you say, whatever you do, ain't gonna bother him.
It's important to have a guy like that going up into the situation now where
You definitely need a guy like that on every team. I think everybody has one of those guys, and you need it. And for him to be in his first playoff series, he don't get phased by the moment. He just go out there and play his game and do whatever we need him to do.
From your experience, complaining about calls through the media, does it help?
Well, not me, it didn't. I got a fine. I didn't get a couple calls next couple games, so we'll see how it pans out.
Bradley really struggled in Boston in Game 2. Is that something you've talked to him about going into Game 5?
Just be aggressive. I mean, like he said, he told y'all he was being passive, not trying to be aggressive and find his shot. And he shot a lot of threes that game. The last couple games, he's not been shooting as many threes. He's been attacking the basket, getting inside the mid-range area. And that's when Brad is very more effective. I mean, he can shoot the three very well. He has a great, one of the best jumpers in the game. But when he's attacking the basket, he's a tougher person to guard.
Is there something to be said for momentum going into this game? I mean, you did what you needed to do at home, but now you hit the road. So is there anything to be said for, these two games? But now that
We
you're
both took care of home court, kind of like what it was last series. And we just got to be the team that they have the home court advantage. They got 2 games at home if it gets to 7. And we just got to go in the mindset of understanding if we get the game Wednesday, we have the opportunity to close it out here Friday. So take it one game at a time, understand what our approach is, and try to go get the game.
John, obviously Steven Jackson was here for the last game. He said he loves the Wizards, the trash talk, and the tough style of play you guys have. Have you heard that from other old school players? Because he said he's heard from a lot of old school players that they like the Wizards.
Yeah, Steven Jackson's like a big brother to me. We talk all the time. So we have conversations, and he like the way we compete. He like the way we don't back down from anybody. I think that's the approach you got to have. It's a little different in NBA than what it was when they played, but we still play with that chippy edge and grittiness.
John, we see what your speed does on the court. Is there a mental edge, or what is the mental edge your speed gives against an opponent?
Well, if you take a bad shot, I turn the ball over, you're in trouble. We're attacking. I can score in transition. I can find my teammates in transition. Guys are finishing at the rim. Guys are spotting up and getting wide open threes. And it's kind of difficult to deal with. I mean, you're in a tough position of, do you guard me and give me layups, or do you take me away from getting layups and give my guys threes? And like I said, I just try to make the right play every time.
Can you see a little bit of fatigue in the opponent?
Well, yeah, with our team, I think after a while, guys start to get tired, and we used to playing that way. So when guys try to play that way with us, we like our chances against any team. And I think we wear guys down throughout the course of the game.
In terms of wear and tear, especially Boston, is there more of a conscious effort to go inside a lot more, especially as a big?
Well, I mean, not even like that. That's not our team's not really a post-up team. We just try to make those guys work as much as possible, run them off as many screens as we can, and let those guys' body get beat up throughout the course of a game. We get tired and get fatigued, we chasing off a lot of screens. And then when we push the ball in transition, our guys do a great job of running, rebounding the ball, and I think throughout 48 minutes, if we can keep that same pace, we wear guys out.
John, on top of what you guys are doing right now, you've seen the Cavs and what they're doing. People don't even know what to watch on Wednesday because it's the big sports. How on fire is the city right now?
It's great. The Cavs did a great job of coming back from where they was and having Game 7 at home. That's big for those guys. It's great for the city. And it's a big game for us. You know what I mean? You're going to have sports fans watch whichever one they like the most, but it's going to be a tough situation to see which one you want to watch. But I mean, they got an opportunity to close it out here at home. We have an opportunity to go on the road and try to steal a game, and that's all we're looking forward to do.